And I also want to say that I don't feel like approaching a man is not letting him lead. Because you can approach someone and exchange numbers and hit it off and everything, but he's still able to lead if you shall go in that direction.
But when you pump the brakes, though, at what point do you still? What point, if you're asking him on the first date, at what point do you give him the reins back and say, "Leave me now"?
My life. This was inspired. I got to tell y'all the story. Y'all know me. I got to tell y'all the story. This was inspired because I played a game with my Power Up ladies. And one of the questions I asked one of the ladies, which was she wasn't actually supposed to do, but she did it anyway. She called. The question was, why would your mom say why you're single? Like, what would your mom, if you were to ask her, why would she say that you're single? And so this girl was like, I really don't even know. So she called her mom while we were on the Zoom. And her mother said, my baby perfect. There ain't nothing wrong with her.
Wow.
She said, I don't know. My daughter ain't got nothing wrong with her. Wow. And then she's like, is her stepdad there? And she was like, yeah, he's right here. So she's like, okay, give him the phone. She's like, oh, Lord, this is going to be a different answer. So when he got on the phone, she's like, so why would you say that I'm single? And he said, well,
you know what?
He said, well,
daddy.
He really is because you don't approach men. You need all y'all women's need to start approaching
all
men.
Women's
is the word that he used. And I have to, in order to be authentic and display him accurately, that is what he said. Y'all women's need to start taking these men out on dates, these good men. We need to start approaching them, talking to them, dating them, courting them, because that's what the game is missing. We will really change the game if us women's would start doing that. And so I posted about how I felt about that. Y'all commented. And so let me start with ladies first. Char, what you think about?
Okay, so the reason why I think about the reason why I think the way I do is because I feel like so many times there are stones that are left unturned, if you will. And I feel like destiny can come at any venue and in any avenue, especially if we believe. Okay, especially if we believe. And so I'm gonna say this. It's like ladies, shoot your shot, because you know what? You never know what he might be going through. And maybe the way he's wired to where he wants to be approached, or because the fact that he has approached and he's been turned down. And so there may be, some insecurities. There's all kinds of different scenarios that can come into play with this. But honestly, I don't see anything wrong with women shooting their shot, because what if like God is giving you the opportunity, right? The universe, whatever you believe in. What if you've been given the opportunity at this amazing person, but because you didn't listen, hey, I'm Char Curry, nice to meet, and you are, well, are you married? Like I've done that. I've done that. Listen, that it's easy. It's easy once you get past yourself. I'm Char Curry. How are you? You know, what's your name? You know.
You said that?
Yes, I have. I have.
Oh, so when you say are you married? What do you say after that?
Well, I wait for the answer, of course. And you know what? Listen, let me tell you guys something. When I tell you guys that 9 times out of 10, this person is forthcoming and they are truthful, I have been told by men that are married, say, yes, my name is such and such. I appreciate the offer, but I'm married. I'm not even kidding. Men are really truthful in that area, as far as like the ones that I've encountered, and I appreciate and I've commended them right in the. I said, you know, I commend you for saying that. I commend you for being loyal and being an upright, standing man, and I love that, honestly. And yeah, and so it's like, you know, well, have a good day anyway. It's that simple.
Okay, so now question is, when you shoot your like, have you had a relationship that was successful after shooting your shot? Does that like change the dating dynamic since you initiated? Are like you the one now that texts first and ask them out on the date? Like, how does that work from that?
No, okay. So I have been on one date where I have approached the person and then, you know, I mean, we've been on one date and then, you know, it dispersed, or if you will. But I will say this, and I like that you said like, or are you texting first? Because that's a whole nother different realm of ball game. But as far as that, I do not feel that the man should have to always initiate the first text, just like I don't feel that the man should have to always initiate physical intimacy. Ladies, get in there, speak up for what you want, and make it happen. So many men are deprived right now because their women do not initiate physical intimacy.
I mean,
they don't even check and see if he made it home. They always want the men to say, oh, well, did you make it home? Did you make it home? But then they won't even check on him. Did you make it to work? Do you need anything? So, I mean, come on, ladies. Come on. I look at it from
a man up. You date, when you date a man, you be like, do you need anything?
I do. I pay so close.
You're a winner.
I got receipts.
Do you need anything?
I pay so close attention.
You the one.
Yes, I pay so close attention to. I will make sure that I know exactly what they need. Whether it's something from Jamba Juice, what kind of water does he drink? What type of facial stuff does he use? Like I'm that one that I'm 10 steps ahead. I am going to send it to your doorstep without even telling you. Surprise.
So do you feel like you courting a man at that point?
Like, no, I don't. I feel like that's being attentive. I feel like that's being attentive, and that's making sure that you're paying attention to your person.
No, question, Char. Okay, so I've been married.
Tag me in.
Okay, go ahead. You go, LT. You go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
What's the question, Sam?
I thought you had a question for her.
No, I'm trying to tag me and ask me a question.
Okay, ask you a question. My bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can.
Do you think? How would you feel being on the receiving end of Char's? You know, Char basically, like, if a woman was to come at you in that way of like, not necessarily the approach. Well, we could talk about the.
Yeah, just start from the beginning. What she was saying, the approach. I'm very much an alpha man. I like to be the aggressor, the one that's approaching. And so to approach me like that would automatically make me feel extremely feminine. So the way I like for a woman, like I always say, a man should pursue and not persuade, and a woman should present and not pursue. And what that looks like is that I always go back to back in the old days. You see those in the black and white movies where a woman would drop the handkerchief, and she caught his attention, so she'll just drop it. And he'll come up behind her, pick it up, and like, how you doing, ma'am? You just dropped this. And then he'll lock eyes with her. And then if he's interested, he's going to shoot his shot. And if not, he'll just be like, here you go, ma'am. I want you to have a good day. And he'll go on about his business. But she caught his attention, and which made him actually respond the way he responded. If he decided to take it a step further, then he decided to take that step further. But so I like that approach. I like for a woman to show her interest without, quote unquote, shooting her shot. Show her interest is smiling. Women have no idea how far a smile goes. I saw a guy leave a comment just a minute ago in the chat where he said, yeah, you may speak to a woman at Walmart and then she got her nose turned all up at you. She looking out, she mean mugging you back. Well, that's a woman that's not approachable. And so when you find a woman that if she's interested in a guy and she looks across the aisle or whatever and just smiles, then that's welcoming. That's all a man needs to say, well, hey, how you doing?
Right.
If you smile at him and he don't smile back, or there's like, now you got to pursue him. Now you like, well, hey, how you doing? Are you married? This? Because I always say, are you okay with the outcome of that relationship being started like that? What that means is that if you were the one that pursued him, how would you feel one day, a month down the line, 2 months down the line? He say, well, you don't want to approach me. I wasn't trying to holler at you. You the one that came. You the one that came to me. Then you like, would you be okay with that? You'd be like, okay, yeah, I did. I'm the one that shot my shot at you. If he uses that as a rebuttal when he's not showing up the way you prefer him to show up, i.e., you want a commitment with him at month 3 or month 4 or whatever, and then he says, listen, I never was trying to be in a relationship anyway. You the one that came and shot your shot at me. Would you be okay with that and say, yeah, I did? Or would you be like, that stings a little bit, that hurt? And so what I always say is that if you're you got alpha women and all that, but if you're the type that values a man that leads, you have to allow him to lead. And I find that where women are, because it's like, where is the point? Where do we stop? You have women getting on their knees and proposing to dudes. Char,
I ain't doing that one, Laterras. I ain't doing that one.
You propose to them, so that's the limit right there, huh? All right, so you ain't gonna propose to them, but you'll court them all the way up until the commitment. So let me say this. One thing that I did appreciate what you said is the intentionality of desiring or caring about how he feels and his needs.
Yeah.
I believe that relationship should be mutual. It shouldn't be a situation where he's taking you out to eat all the time and you can't buy a meal for him. You can't show that you appreciate him. I totally believe in that. But I believe in him leading that process. Because at the end of the day, what you may not be realizing is that he's showing you how he leads. If you wanted something long term, he's showing you how he leads at the very beginning. And what happens is that if you start leading in that relationship, 2 things that could happen depending on his personality type. He could resent you later on and be like, you always trying to control. Why are you? I'm the man. The minute he has to say, I'm the man, the relationship has gone too far. It's out of order. And so that's why I say it depends on how far are you going. Somebody said, what if the man is naturally shy? Smile at him, say hi. Saying hi ain't saying let's go out to eat, let's go on a date. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said common courtesy is okay. Hey, how you doing? If he's shy and do like well, you can't speak back, we in trouble anyway. If you can't say hi, then now I got a whole child I gotta raise. But if you say, hey, how you doing? He say, hey, how you doing back? Then hopefully he'll lead with something. But when it comes to, can I talk to you later? Can I get your phone number? Can we go out to eat? I believe, well, I ain't gonna say him, me. I'm gonna always speak on me. I prefer, because there's a lot of women that DM me saying I'm their husband and all that. That will never work. It will never, ever,
Thank
ever,
you.
let me hear you, ever. God can tell me that that's my wife that just told me that she's my husband, and I would ignore God and her and be like, that would not feel right. It would feel so out of order to me that I couldn't function in that space. And so my thing for me, if a woman, I'm a man. If I like you and we engage in conversation, I'm going to take it from there. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm saying just allow that man to lead, especially for me. Just I got eyes. I know if I'm attracted to you. If we have a conversation and we tripping out, then I'll be like, hey, hey, what's your number? I like to keep in touch with you. It may just not even be on a romantic level from the initial exchange of phone numbers, and then we let that happen organically or whatever. But that's my 2 cents.
Right.
Char, do you have feedback for what he just shared with you, or how?
So I appreciate everything you just said, and I respect it. I will say this, that we do live in different times, so ladies aren't carrying handkerchiefs around there, and things of that nature. But also, as far as the smiling, that can be just a friendly smile, just being pleasant towards someone. And so I feel like a lot of the time also in today's day and age, people will take that the wrong way, whether it's a man or a woman, and women will be like, oh well, like you said, they'll get snarky or they'll get attitude, and it's like, ma'am, I was just being courteous, I was just being a kind person, like smiling at you, and vice versa. So I understand what you said, but there's a lot that goes into that. And I also want to say that I don't feel like approaching a man is not letting him lead. Because you can approach someone and exchange numbers and hit it off and everything, but he's still able to lead if you shall go in that direction.
But when you pump the brakes, though, at what point do you what point, if you're asking him on the first date, at what point do you give him the reins back and say, lead me now?
Do you feel like just because someone is asking to exchange numbers, do you feel like that's actually asking them on a date? What if it's just to be in connection?
If you say, are you married? Are you this? That's we know what that means. So if you came up to me and was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, you single? That's the line. You trying to holler. So what we talking about here? But in the day, you say, what's your phone number? I'm like, I feel very feminine right now. My phone number is this. You're like, all right, I'm gonna call you later. Be like, oh. Then I'm sitting there looking, is she gonna call me? Is she gonna call? You just got me all in my feminine energy. Like, what is that?
Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family. Okay, join my family today.